This is Tom Grassi, and this is 30 and 30, and you're watching Illogical Canadian.
Bonjour mes amis, je suis le Logique Canadien, and welcome back to another week in review. Week 5, the first week of bye weeks, still full of bullshit, still full of laughs, and full of drunken idiocy. I implore you to watch Batman Monday Night Stream to see why. But, yeah, let's get ourselves into this shit show, shall we? For our first matchup here on Thursday Night Football, we got ourselves a huge matchup between the Chicago Bears and the Washington Commanders. Now, you may be thinking, wait a minute, why in the hell can I not see the full thing? That's why, because I'm an idiot. So, this was a game. The Bears were doing this to honor the passing of team and league legend Dick Butkus, who unfortunately passed away before the game, and the Bears played their hearts out for Dick. For the Bears, actually I'm going to do this. For the Bears, Justin Fields went 15 for 29, 282 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Khalil Herbert carried it 10 times for 76 yards. For receiving, it was DJ Moore's day to shine. Holy shit. 8 receptions, 230 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Fucking have a day, Mr. DJ Moore. For Washington, Sam Howell went 37 for 51. 388 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Sam Howell also led with 4 carries for 19 yards. And Logan Thomas caught 9 passes, fucking Christ, for 77 yards and a touchdown. All of this leading to a Bears victory. Yes, the Bears finally win a game, meaning there's only one winless team left, and we'll get to them soon. Bears win this game by a final score of 40-20. And again, for Dick. I promise I'm not doing the fucking accent this time. So far, London matchup, we got ourselves the Jacksonville Jaguars, actually the visitors this time, as they take on the Buffalo Bills, again in London, in Tottenham Stadium. What do we think of Tottenham? Shit. What do we think of shit? Tottenham. Thank you. That's all right. We hate Tottenham, 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 we hate Tottenham. For Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence went 25 for 37, 315 yards and a touchdown. Travis Etienne ran 26 times for 136 yards and 2 touchdowns. For receiving, it was Calvin Ridley, 7 receptions for 122 yards. He is still good at this football thing. For the Bills, Josh Allen went 27 for 40, 359 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Josh Allen also ran 4 times for 14 yards and a touchdown. For receiving, it was Stephon Diggs, who caught it 8 times for 121 yards and a touchdown. Jaguars win this one 25-20, but the Bills didn't leave London unscathed, as unfortunately it appears that Matt Milano, their linebacker, may miss the season with a broken leg and a possible damage to the ACL. Hopefully, it's not bad, but never say never with that. And I wish Matt Milano a speedy recovery. The less said about this fucking game, the better. Patriots, Saints. Let's just get to the fucking things. For the Saints, Derek Carr went 18 for 26, 183 yards and 2 touchdowns. Oh, you can't see it. Alvin Kamara with 22 carries for 80 yards and a touchdown. For receiving, it was Michael Thomas with 4 receptions for 65 yards. For the Pats, Mac Jones went 12 for 22, 110 yards, and 2 interceptions. Landry Stevenson carried it 8 times for 22 yards, and Kendrick Bourne caught it twice for 44 yards. I don't give a shit if fucking Zappy was put into the game. I don't give a shit. This team means fucking nothing right now. They are complete and utter fucking dog shit. Saints win 34-0. I need a fucking drink. For our next matchup, we got an AFC South showdown between the Tennessee Titans and the Indianapolis Colts. This was a cool game to watch. Both teams did really well. They remained competitive all game long, and it worked out for them in the very end. Well, for one team at least. For Tennessee, Ryan Tannehill went 23 for 34, 264 yards, and an interception. Derrick Henry ran 13 times for 44 yards. For receiving, it was DeAndre Hopkins with 8 receptions for 140 yards. For Indianapolis, the combined effort of Gardner Minshew and Anthony Richardson, who left the game with an injury and may be out for a couple weeks, went 20 for 26, 253 yards. That's it. Zach Moss ran 23 times for 165 yards and 2 touchdowns. And for receiving, it was Josh Downs with 6 receptions and 97 yards, leading to a Colts victory at home. 23-16 is your final. The Colts still look good for now. I mean, actually, they will get a major weapon back next week. Welcome back, Jonathan Taylor. He is staying put in Indy on a 3-year contract worth $42 million. He got the bag, and he got what he got. So he will be playing next week for the Colts, and that's something they desperately needed. For the next matchup, we got the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers in an AFC North battle. Both teams suck. Fire Matt Canada. Fire whoever the fuck offensive coordinator the Baltimore Ravens have, because something ain't fucking working for both teams. I promise you that. For the Ravens, Lamar Jackson went 22 for 38, 236 yards, and an interception. By the way, I apologize if you can't read the writing. I try my best with the fucking team colors. Gus Edwards ran 12 times for 48 yards. For receiving, Zay Flowers caught it 5 times for 73 yards. For the Steelers, Kenny Pickett went 18 for 32, 224 yards with a touchdown. Jalen Warren ran it 9 times for 40 yards. For receiving, George Pickens caught it 6 times for 130 yards and a touchdown, leading to a Steelers win at home, 17-10. Steelers gossip. For our next game, we got the Detroit Lions hosting the Carolina Panthers. Carolina, the only winless team left in the league after the after Chicago got the win on Thursday night. Will they stay winless, or will they win the game? I think it's pretty obvious by now, judging by what you see. For Carolina, Bryce Young went 25 of 41, 247 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 hot pockets. Chuba Hubbard carried it 9 times for 35 yards. For receiving, Adam Thielen caught it 11 times for 107 yards and a touchdown. Have yourself a field day. For the Lions, Jared Goff went 20 for 28, 236 yards, and 3 touchdowns. David Montgomery carried it 19 times for 109 yards and a touchdown. And for receiving, it was Josh Reynolds, 4 receptions for 76 yards and a touchdown. Detroit took this game easily by a score of 42-24. The Panthers are 0-5 and have the best odds of first overall. Oh, but they don't have it. You know who does? The Bears. For our next matchup, we got the Houston Texans taking on the Atlanta Falcons and Mercedes-Benz in an entertaining showdown that came down to the wire. This is probably one of the better games of the week. I'm serious. For the Texans, C.J. Stroud went 20 for 35, 249 yards and a touchdown. Dameon Pierce carried it 20 times for 66 yards. For receiving, it was Dalton Schultz, 7 receptions for 65 yards and a touchdown. At least CJ Stroud's looking a lot better. For the Falcons, Desmond Ridder went 28 for 37, 329 yards and a touchdown. Bijan Robinson carried it 14 times for 46 yards. For receiving, it was Kyle Pitts, 7 receptions for 87 yards. Took a last-second field goal to win the game for the Falcons. 21-19 is your final. And I guess the Falcons kind of look legit. You can fit Bijan Robinson for that, but still. For our next matchup, we got the New York Derps taking on the Miami Dolphins in what was actually a one-sided affair that was actually somewhat entertaining because both teams suck. Well, I say one sucks because they actually suck, and I'm saying the other one sucks because division rivalry. For the Giants, Danny Derps went 14 for 20 and 119 yards. Eric Gray, I don't know if that's his actual name, but I'm sorry, carried it 12 times for 25 yards. For receiving, it was Darren Waller, 8 receptions for 86 yards. For the Dolphins, Tua Tagovailoa went 22 for 30, 308 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 picks. Devon Achane carried it 11 times for 151 yards and a touchdown. Receiving, it was all Tyreek Hill, 8 receptions, 181 yards, and a touchdown. Miami took this game easily, 31-16 is your final from Hard Rock. Derp, derpity, derp. For our next matchup, we got the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Arizona Cardinals. Bengals have not looked hot at all in the past couple of weeks, but they looked for redemption here, and they did ultimately get it. For the Bengals, Joe Burrow went 36 for 46, 317 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. Joe Mixon carried it 25 yards for 81 yards. 25 times for 81 yards. Jesus. For receiving, Jamar Chase caught it 15 times, 192 yards, and 3 touchdowns. It's almost like he was always wide open. For the Cardinals, Josh Dobbs went 15 for 32, 166 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 hot pockets. Rondale Moore ran it 3 times for 50 yards, and Marquise Brown caught it 4 times for 61 yards and a touchdown. The Bengals got their redemption. They get a win here, 34-20. They are 2-3. Cardinals still look like complete and utter dog shit, and they're not getting Caleb Williams. Rip. And now we have the Eagles taking on the Rams at SoFi for our next game. Philadelphia is fucking brutal, man. I'm serious. They are fucking brutal. My God. For the Eagles, Jalen Hurts went 25 for 38, 303 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Jalen Hurts also ran 15 times for 72 yards and a touchdown. And for receiving, it was A.J. Brown with 6 receptions for 127 yards. Jesus Christ. For the Rams, Matt Stafford went 21 for 37, 222 yards, and 2 touchdowns. A lot of 2s. Kyron Williams carried it 13 times for 53 yards. And for receiving, welcome back, Cooper Kupp. Have a day. 8 receptions for 118 yards. Seriously, have a day. The Eagles win this game 23-14 to remain undefeated on the season. They were undefeated up to 8-0 last year. How far would it go this year? Place your bets in the comments below. But seriously, great game by both teams, even if the Rams were lacking a little bit. I think the less said about this stupid fucking game, I think the better. Though, yes, it was somewhat close with a 10-point deficit. Just some of the actions that happened in this game, like the Broncos having a late game fumble to lose the game. I'll just put it at that because I'm sure Broncos fans that watch this video, if there are any, don't want to fucking hear about it. For the Jets, the fucker of your mother went 19 for 26, 199 thrusts into your mother in an interception. Breece Hall carried it 22 times for 177 yards and a touchdown. For receiving, Tyler Conklin caught it 4 times for 67 yards. For those Bronco boys, Chef Russ went 20 for 31, 196 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jaleel McLaughlin carried it 9 times for 68 yards. I know he had a touchdown, but I had some typo errors with fucking the graphic maker of this, so yeah. For receiving, it was Samaje Perine, 4 receptions for 73 yards. JTS, what the fuck? 31-21 is your final. Jets win. For our next matchup, we have the Kansas City Swifties taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Yes, I said the Kansas City Swifties. Sue me. For the Swifties, Patrick Mahomes went 31 for 41, 281 yards and 2 touchdowns. Isaiah Pacheco carried it 16 times for 55 yards and a touchdown. For receiving, Travis Swift caught it 10 times for 67 yards and a touchdown. I know what I'm saying. Shut up. For the Vikings, Kirk Cousins went 29 for 47, 284 yards and 2 touchdowns. Alexander Madison carried it 8 times for 26 yards. For receiving, Jordan Addison caught it 6 times for 64 yards and a touchdown. The Vikings just fucking suck this year. The Chiefs winning 27-20. Minnesota, man, what the fuck are you doing? Because I don't even think you know what the fuck you're doing. And now for Sunday Night Football, we have a rivalry renewed. The Dallas Cowgirls and the San Francisco 49ers. The only reason I call them the Cowgirls is because San Francisco is their bitch. Actually, no, I'm sorry, I got that mixed up. Dallas is San Francisco's bitch. And the last 3 times I've seen them play, playoffs and regular season, case closed, Your Honor. For the Cowboys, Dak Prescott went 14 for 24, 153 yards, a touchdown, and 3 picks. Tony Pollard carried it 8 times for 29 yards. For receiving, CD's Nutslam caught it 4 times for 49 yards. Again, another issue with the graphic maker. As you can clearly see, it's supposed to say 49 yards. Whatever. For the Niners, Big Cock Brock Purdy went 17 for 24, 252 yards and 4 touchdowns. God damn, sir. Mason carried it 10 times for 69 nice yards and a touchdown. And for receiving, George Kittle had a fucking field day. 3 receptions, 67 yards, and 3 touchdowns. God damn, son. Niners win 42-10. As I said, Dallas is San Francisco's little bitch. And for Monday Night Football, we got the Green Bay Packers taking on the Vegas Raiders. The Stanley Cup champion Vegas Golden Knights were in the building to watch this shit show. And oh god, if you watched my Monday night stream, you would know how much of a shit show it really was. For the Packers, Jordan Love went 16 for 30, 182 yards in 3 hot pockets. AJ Dillon ran it 20 times for 76 yards and a touchdown. For receiving, Christian Watson caught it 3 times for 91 yards. For the Raiders, Jimmy Jesus went 22 for 31, 208 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. Josh Jacobs carried it 20 times for 69 nice yards and a touchdown. For receiving, it was Jacoby Myers, 7 receptions, 75 yards, touchdown. Raiders win this game thanks to a Robertson interception at the very end on the Packers' last gasp. 17-13 is your final. Fucking Christ, Packers, what are you doing? And now, real quick, let's just go ahead and go over the bye weeks that are in progress that took place in week 5. First things first, over to my left, the Cleveland Browns. They are 2-2 on the season. I feel like they don't know what the fuck they're doing. I'm sure their fans don't even know what the fuck they're doing, nor their players know what the fuck they're doing. And they are in a lot of trouble as they face the undefeated Niners next week. The next team up on the board right over here is the Los Angeles Chargers, also 2-2. Had a rocky start to the season, but won their last two. They might have a better showing on Monday Night Football as they face the Dallas Cowgirls. Over here to my right, a little bit the Seattle Seahawks. They're 3-1. They look good. They play good football. Everything's good for them all around. And they face Cincinnati next week. And way over to the right, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, also 3-1. Baker's been balling out, and he's been having a great year so far. And next week is going to be a very tough test for them as they take on the Detroit Lions. Best of luck to all these teams, but break time's over, boys. Back to work. And that will do it for this week's Week in Review. Fucking Christ this week. Join me tonight. Actually, join me about an hour and a half from now, 5:15 Eastern, to start a triple header stream to open up the NHL season and to welcome it back. We start with the Nashville Predators and the Tampa Bay Lightning. Follow suit at 8 o'clock for the Pittsburgh Penguins and Chicago Blackhawks. And at 10:30, we stay on and we cover the Vegas Golden Knights banner night as they raise the banner on their Stanley Cup season as they play host to the Seattle Kraken. So that will do it for this episode. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, leave a like. Comment down below if you guys want to see anything next. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe and join the Illogical Nation. It would greatly benefit me. Until next time, je suis là, j'ai canadien. Bonne nuit et au revoir.